Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Buzz. Trevor here. I am joined by Jack. Jack is here because he's the only one that was willing to watch this movie, and also review it. And I think he also regrets it. This is very late because I'm moving to college, and Jack is busy being an actor, and we're both bad at scheduling things. Now that all of that is out of the way, this film undid a solid 5 years of therapy, and I am now depressed again. I saw an article calling this the future of populist cinema, and if that is the case, then we are fucked.
We should just kill ourselves now.
We should just all kill ourselves now. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you couldn't tell, we didn't like this film.
No.
Okay. For the record, I am not the biggest fan, particularly of the first two Deadpool films. I think that particularly, especially the first one, I think is incredibly detrimental to just like how comedy has developed in mainstream film. And I think it has hurt just the quality of comedy in general.
Because if you make fun of the flaws in your movie, then your movie's not flawed, guys.
Then obviously, you just lampshade that shit away and everything's fine. You just got to be meta and quirky. And this film tries to write off the same stick. And in Deadpool, the original film, it already felt kind of tired, and like it was, would have been funny in like 2004 on Reddit. And now it was just because culture, a lot of culture develops from the internet and then takes a while to then break into the mainstream. Now it's just very behind and it feels very dated. And now they're still just trying to ride with the exact same stick. But then now we're in the MCU and we're making fun of Fox. And, like I saw, I think it was William Bibiani wrote, like, it's a love letter to Fox. And if anybody writes a love letter like this to you, then you should probably just break up with them. Because it feels so incredibly insincere, if that is what it is trying to be. If it is, which I do think that was the goal, is to be this love letter to Fox. And I have a soft spot for a lot of the Fox films, particularly the X-Men ones. Like the X-Men is probably my favorite like subsection of like comic book films and the superhero genre. Like I quite like the X-Men. And just the X-Men as a concept, like very queer coded, very political. It, was made as an allegory for Malcolm X and MLK. Like, lots of things to like about the X-Men. But it felt so insincere and disingenuous, and it didn't help that it just wasn't funny.
No, and it's a comedy. It's at least it's trying to be a comedy.
It's supposed to be a comedy. Yeah.
It's supposedly a comedy, and I'm sure there are lots of people out there.
Allegedly, it is a comedy.
It's working for a lot of people. I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. I'm happy for all the 12-year-old boys and the 42-year-old men who are enjoying this film, and Grace Randolph. I'm happy for all of you. But for me personally, it's not like the same. That's not my kind of comedy where it's like, haha, gay is the extent of the humor for pretty much the whole movie.
That is my I do like haha gay. I do not like
Deadpool's
haha gay, but when I say haha gay, it is funny.
Okay.
And you will agree with
Sure.
I don't know where I was going with that. But it's this movie, again, it was very clearly not made for us. We are not the target audience of this film, as people who did not like the first two Deadpool films and are not necessarily the biggest fan of the MCU or superhero films in general. But I guess just to have, since the film wasn't necessarily made for us, to just kind of have a broader conversation about the film as a whole. Because like there are cameos in this and whatever, they seemed all just kind of vapid and soulless, and I didn't care.
Well, I think if you look, first off, I think it's generous to call this a movie because there is absolutely no story here.
Yeah, it's a clip. It's a clip show for people who are on r/Marvel to sit up excitedly and clap. Like it's nothing.
The only construction they used when making this film was Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds kind of like playing with action figures, and they're kind of like they constructed the whole thing around like, ooh, what cameo could we get in here? Instead of constructing it around a story, they constructed it around the
Yeah.
cameos, I'm pretty sure. And all of the cameos are also either they're people they've worked with in the past or they're friends. It's not like there's anyone like, besides one person, anyone crazy special. So
Yeah, like, and again, it's, it's the type of film where, like, yeah, it just seemed like a group of friends that was, had fun making a movie, which is fine. But
yeah,
it it felt like it was also like they felt the need to apologize for doing that every 2 minutes. And it's just like, if you just
yeah,
wanna be a fun movie and have a fun time with it, like, don't constantly then feel the need to apologize and be like, "Oh, but actually we're doing, we're doing this meta thing to reach the," like, fuck off. I
yeah.
I don't know, and, like, yeah, the plot was on fucking Drake's Ozempic pills, because like, that shit
There
is
is
thick.
no plot.
I
And also the whole motivation, there's no character motivation either. Deadpool's whole motivation is like surrounding his girlfriend, who apparently died in the second movie, was brought back to life in the post-credit scene, and now she's not into him anymore. So his whole motivation in the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes, it's forgotten for the rest of the movie,
Yeah.
is to like get back in her good graces or whatever. Like there's no character motivation. There's no suspense either because your two lead characters can't die at all. So there's no stakes. That's just
And again, and it's just like, there was all these fight sequences between Deadpool and Wolverine, and it just felt like an excuse to, again, just
action
do
figures.
live action figures, where it's just like, absolutely nothing will be of consequence of any of this. We're just gonna sit and watch, like, people in costumes run at each other in front of a green screen with CGI for 10 minutes and then just move on. Like, again, this
No,
is
they
not.
actually shot these scenes practically. If you saw the set photos for some reason, but it looks so bad.
This was
It's
not
literally just
practical.
like a
I don't
gray
believe
desert.
you. I don't believe you. It wasn't
There's set
practical.
photos of it.
I
The
wasn't
20th Century
practical.
Fox ones were
That
practical,
was
and it
the
looks
fake news.
ugly.
Fake
Yeah,
news.
it could have been, but yeah, the
They were
movie
staged
visually,
like the moonlight. No. But like, I don't know. Again, it is not a complete film. It is simply a
no.
montage. It is designed just for the people who treat like the Marvel like it's a sports team. Like, I ventured onto, because I figured if I was gonna like make fun of people on r/Marvel, I should like venture onto there. And
Oh, exciting.
there was like comments in their like discussion thread of this film where they mentioned like the joke where Deadpool's like, oh, we're joining the MCU at a bit of a low point, aren't we?
Oh,
And somebody was like, well, at least they acknowledged it, so now they just have to
so it's
fix it.
fine now. Yeah.
Yeah, and now they just have to fix it, and then somebody else replied under that and was like, "Yeah, they're putting together a solid group of directors. We'll be seen as the true fans for sticking with them through this, when they're back to being good." And to get like, you're treating this like a sports team. Like, my football club that I love so dearly, Tottenham Hotspur, based out of London, who never win anything and make me eternally depressed, but I still have supported them since I was 8 years old, and I will do that until the day I die. This is how I talk about them when I'm talking about like why they should sign a new winger, right? So that way they can improve their crossing chances into hopefully a new center forward that they will buy. Like, that's how I talk about a football club, not
Yeah,
a
it's
film studio. Like,
it's okay. I think it's okay for people to be committed and delusional about different things. I think that's fine, whether it's a franchise or a sports team.
but
I just don't think you should
I think it's different
make
between
fun of
art.
other people who've hopped off the train.
Sure, but I
I
think it's
guess
also
it's different for
different
art,
between
yeah.
art and sports. Like, this is art. Like,
But does
you
anyone
don't
really
have to.
consider these art?
People
Even the
do. Like,
fans.
people, no, there are
Eh.
people who think that this is like the bit.
It's a
Sorry,
roller coaster ride. It's what Martin
yeah,
Scorsese said 5 years
it's
ago. It's a roller coaster
again,
ride.
everybody made fun of him about this. Like, this, people try and treat this like it is a sports team, where it's like, oh yeah, we got to stick through them. Like, even if they're acknowledging like, oh yeah, that was bad, but I'm still gonna stick with them and keep on supporting them and hyping them up because this is my team. This is my movies that I have to defend. Like, it's wild that that is how people. And again, like, if people enjoy it, I don't want to make it like, oh, I don't want people to enjoy things. Like, if people are enjoying this, I'm happy that people enjoyed it. I wish that I could like everything. it's a very strange way to engage with art, and I just think that films like Deadpool and Wolverine are just encouraging that engagement with art, which I think is just not good for art as a whole in the long run. Um, to be treated in that way, and like
Yeah,
I don't
I
want this
agree.
to
I've just
be
given
like
up on the general public's movie taste for the
right. Like
most
I
part.
don't want to be like,
So
oh, that Deadpool and Wolverine is killing art, but like stuff like this does hurt, like artistic filmmaking.
yeah,
Like
it does.
it genuinely does hurt it in a meaningful capacity. When you have stuff like that, it's just this mind. I mean, like look, remember that. Look, remember this. We're making fun of this. Remember that thing from 20 years ago. Like it's just
It's rewiring a lot of
incomprehensible
people's
slop.
brains for what they expect from movies, which I do think is damaging. But I already think a lot of audiences have been rewired, and I don't know how much you can go back at this point. This is what
Yeah,
they want.
this is just like it feels like we've reached the late stage of whatever this is, and this is the product. Like
They're
this
eating it
is
up.
yeah, and people are eating it
They
up.
brought in.
It is they've fully crossed over into not making films and purely making cameo
Roller
fests.
coaster rides. Yeah.
Yeah, they're and again, I enjoy amusement park rides. I think there's nothing wrong with amusement park rides, but let's not treat them like they're art.
No, they are not. But yeah.
I it's I this it fucking pisses me
On the
off.
positive side, on the positive side, Emma
Matthew
Corrin.
McFadden and Emma
I don't
Corrin.
know. About, Matthew
I thought
McFadden was
Matthew
doing
McFadden
stuff,
was
but
fun. I thought
I
he
thought
was
Emma
fun.
Corrin was
Emma
amazing.
Corrin was good. Emma Corrin was very good.
Yeah, they were the
Um,
standout performance in my opinion,
yeah, absolutely,
easily.
absolutely. No, they were my standout. I did enjoy Matthew McFadden though. I thought that he was fun.
He was at least doing something. Yeah, I don't know if it's kind of makes you feel
Anything
nice
where
that.
Ryan Reynolds was not on screen.
Well, yeah, that also the Ryan Reynolds whole shtick has never worked for me. I find him actively grating and annoying. No offense to
Yeah,
him, but he's playing the same himself in every movie. So that's probably why neither of us really are huge fans of the Deadpool movies. That doesn't really work
yeah.
for us, and that's
And Ryan
what the
Reynolds seems
movies
like
are.
a good guy in general. I've also I've
Yeah.
watched I also I watched Welcome to Wrexham as a very big football fan. And
Mhm.
it's a fun show, and I think he comes across as just a normal person,
Yeah, I'm sure he's a
very
good
very
dude.
chill, like but just his comedy style just does not click with me at all, and I just again it's grating. I find it just obnoxious. Like it is hard to sit through. And it's just hard to find any enjoyment out of something that isn't even a film, but is just a Reddit fan fiction clip show montage with just his humor being thrown at you for 2 hours and 20
Yeah,
minutes,
he's not
which
even
is
a
also just
character. He's
way
a
too
joke
long.
machine.
It's over
Yeah,
long. I mean, again, we're just naming random things that we don't like at this point because like it's hard to talk about this as a film because it isn't a film. Like
no,
it
it's
just
not a
simply
film.
is not. So I don't know. I keep on saying that I'm done with these movies, but I'm always morbidly curious.
Yeah, me too. I'll probably keep watching them, but I don't know how much I'll
I
keep
have
enjoying
stopped
them.
paying for them,
Oh,
just
so you're
buying
just like
tickets for
seeing
other
other
things.
movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair,
So,
fair. They
but
don't need your money. They're
they
fine.
don't.
So
Guys go and pirate these. Like I don't they whatever. I I we were very harsh on this. If you like the
yeah,
film, all the power to you. Like, I mean, we have takes that you guys probably think are insane, especially me. I know I have weird takes. I, you know,
everyone does. Yeah.
yeah. We all have weird takes.
Trevor
I'm
didn't
not
like
gonna
Avatar 2. You can't trust him.
see. That's like one of my least
You
egregious
can't
ones.
trust
You could
him.
have pointed to Dune this year, like that.
Avatar 2 is better than Dune 2.
That It's wild that you're gonna make me defend Dune 2, like, as a
Well,
notorious
also
Dune 2
Trevor didn't
hater.
like Challengers,
Dune 2
so
that's just a lie. That's just
if you don't love it, then you don't like it, I'm
I
afraid,
just
are
didn't
the
give it a
rules
10 out
around
of
here.
10 like you.
That's the only 10 out of 10 of
Challengers
the
is a
year?
very good film. It isn't I've seen, like, 70 films that have released this year, and it is still in my top 15.
Okay. That should be number 1, but it's okay.
'Kay.
It's okay. We can't all be
I that
perfect, just like
that
Deadpool and Wolverine is far from perfect. It
they're
has
gonna
one
ma
good thing in it, and that is Emma Corrin.
They
Everything
they
else
made they made as a last note, they made a joke about it in the film, which was very annoying, but, like, they are going to make Hugh Jackman do this until he's, like, fucking dead. Like,
yeah, and he's a good actor. I kinda hope he doesn't do it, but he did. It's funny, they made a joke about his divorce in the movie, so but I'm sure maybe the divorce
yeah,
financially burdened him, and he
yeah,
jumped back on. Who
I
knows?
don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna speculate, but it's just yeah, I don't know quite what to call it or what the name of this is going to be, but this is not a film. And, I like I enjoy watching YouTube videos. They aren't films. You can enjoy watching it, but it's not
It's the film equivalent of Skibbity Toilet,
that
which they're making a
feels
film of.
harsh to Skibbity Toilet. I don't
That's fair. That's fair.
um it's a 2 out of 10 for me.
What did I gave it 1.5. That seems generous. I'll agree with 2.
I reserve ones for things that I think were like maliciously made with like evil moral intent. I don't
I don't
think
think
this
this
was
was
made with
maliciously made.
I don't think this was maliciously made with like poor moral intent. I just genuinely think Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were having fun making a movie because they're friends and they are rich enough to where they can just do this and have fun making something. Which is fair enough. If I had a bunch of money, I would also just make movies with my friends. I wouldn't do it one like this, but I would also
Yeah.
just make movies with my friends. But I like it's about as bad as you can get without being maliciously made with evil intent. So,
Yeah.
yeah, a 2 out of 10. We hated this. And more thoughts soon. Trap review incoming probably tomorrow, which is better than this by a lot. Trap fucking slays. Great movie. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed and aren't too mad at us if you liked this film.
Leave me some hate
And
comments. I
yeah,
love them.
Jack doesn't get it. Sorry, Jack doesn't get enough hate comments. Like I always get a shit ton of hate comments. Like throw some hate towards Jack
Well,
for
it's
once in
because
his
I have
life.
good takes, I'm afraid.
Goodbye,
But I
everybody.
welcome
Thank you
your
for watching.
comments. They're on my way.
To see you later.
I
Goodbye
can
now.
take it.
Goodbye. Goodbye.